I was in a lot of debt, and we're talking £1-2 million. I had £5 left in my bank account, and I opened an account with bookmakers, turned that £5 within the space of a week into 540 grand. Now, bearing in mind I'm in the debt that I'm in, any rational man would think, right, that's a good chunk of that debt paid off.
Yeah.
I'll give him 140, and I thought, right, I can turn this 400 grand into $1 million, $2 million, whatever that may be. Before you knew it, within the week that I made that 540 grand, I'd done 400 grand back.
And what was you spending a week on gambling?
Wages were gone within the first 2 weeks.
Your mum's wages, you've done it all.
Yeah. I had some nasty people wanting their money, and when I didn't have it, they were threatening. That's the bottom line of it. Trap one's come out, it fell on its nose, done, beat. I've legged it out the dogs. I remember looking back, he was never going to catch me, and he's going, Matty, where's my money, where's my money? He ended up turning up at the training ground on the Monday. It got to the point where I was getting the same thrill losing as I was winning, weirdly. And that's when you know you've got an issue.
How we doing, you lovely, lovely people? Now we're back again, another episode, another day. It is the Men's Room talkSPORT podcast, and of course it's me, Tom Skinner, and you know my partner in crime, the 17th hardest footballer of all time, the legend, the man, the myth, Mr. Razor Ruddock.
What sort of footballer were you? Were you a player?
I was
Did you put your pony?
I was all right.
Hold up. You've signed up for my charity team. I'm managing you in the summer. Bolton. We're playing in Bolton. And you know you're telling me you're pony.
I'm all right.
What position?
Everywhere really.
Do you?
I played Byron Red Star in a
Byron Red Star.
Yeah,
where they out of?
Romford in ACB in Raffles Park. I played there as a kid.
Did you play in major stadiums?
No, I didn't. No. Where did you play anywhere at all? Good.
Only around the world, yeah, massive stadiums.
Weren't you the dearest defender?
I was dearest defender in the world for a day. Listen, don't worry about football careers. Obviously, because I've blown you out the water with football careers. Did you have a nice birthday?
It was lovely, thank you.
Where'd you have it? Brentwood?
In the Thatcher's Arms.
In the Thatcher's. There
Arms.
are other pubs available. Happy birthday.
Uphill paper around me, mate.
Happy birthday.
Right, so.
Yes.
Matty Etherington Day.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of Matt's. I remember when he joined us.
Do you?
West Ham, yeah, and it was we went down to Division 1, didn't we? Do you remember?
No, I was there. I only played for him when they was in the top flight.
Yeah, I know. But we swapped him for Canute.
Freddie Canute.
We swapped him. He was blind, wasn't he?
Yeah. Was you happy with the swap? Was you happy with the swap? I know he sat behind the camera, but was you happy with the swap? Losing that goal machine, Freddie Canute from Matthew Etherington. Was you happy with the swap?
Well, he was good. He was brilliant at West Ham, wasn't he? He was good at West Ham. He was on the wing. He was quick. You know what I mean?
So we got him here today to talk about problems. He has had problems in the past, but he's willing to talk about it, and that's what the Men's Room's all about.
Right, so joining us on the Men's Room podcast is Matty Etherington, and I'm going to ask him loads of questions and drive him mad probably.
So where did it all start? When did you grow up and football? How did you get into football?
Yeah, I was born in Cornwall. So
Was you?
Yeah, I was.
Whereabouts?
Born in Truro, lived in Falmouth, right on the coast, right by the beach, beautiful place to live.
Why have you got the accent?
So I left when I was 10.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, and then lost the accent. All my family's still down there, my mum's still down there. Yeah, beautiful place, but then we just decided to move up and pursue, because I was doing well at the time and getting noticed by clubs and getting the spotlight a little bit, so we moved up.
Because of that area, if you just stayed in the area, do you think you'd have made it as a footballer?
I doubt it. It's really remote down there.
Isn't it?
It's really remote. It's
beautiful. You get to
beautiful.
Bristol, you think you're there. You get Wrexham,
it's halfway,
you think you're
Bristol.
there. And you're not, have you been down there?
That's
miles and miles. Because I think about a lot of kids go under the radar down
there. They do. There's some good talent down there, but they just Sunday league team. Just me and my mates from school. We had a really good team. We were cleaning up, and randomly some scouts were noticing us down there, and I was in my first year of secondary school, I think.
Yeah.
And we made a decision to move up and join Peterborough then at 12, 13 years old.
So, when growing up, who was your favourite football team?
Well, my old man supported Liverpool. Yeah, I know you played for them, didn't you?
I've done it.
Did you play for him? You've never mentioned it.
50 times.
I didn't really have a team. Like Plymouth Argyle was the closest team to me when I was a kid growing up, so I'd go up there and watch the odd game. Didn't really have a team. I just love football in general. I didn't support one specific team, but yeah, just loved the game.
And there is a story, because I did do research, and you had a trial at Manchester United.
Yeah.
How'd that go for you?
Yeah, it's an experience. So I made my debut at 15 at Peterborough, and then there's a bit of a tension. Different clubs, there's rumours of Newcastle, Kevin Keegan was manager, Tottenham were interested, and United were interested. So Barry Fry, being the salesman that he is, told us to go up there in the car and have a trial at Man United. Genuinely thought we were going to train with the youth teams. We went up and met Sir Alex. Kitman showed us down to the change room. We went into the change room. It was the first thing change room. I'm sat next to Teddy and Roy Keane.
Oh.
So I sat next to Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, and we're thinking, what are we doing here? I was 17, I think Si was 18, 19 years old. And we were training with them. We trained with them all week. First day, boxes, 2 youngest go in, we went in. We were in there for about 12, keep ball,
got
players on the outside.
You've got players on the outside and 2 players have got to get the ball. So you've got a treble-winning team.
It was the year after they won the treble. The Scholes, Beckham, Keane, Nicky Butt, Gary Neville.
And he got 2 trialists. That is awful. That could ruin a man, couldn't it?
How was it?
We couldn't get the ball. We were in there for 12 minutes. 3 blocks of 4, and we couldn't get the ball off them. And they didn't feel sorry for us either. They were literally ruthless. They just kept bang, 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 bang.
They've got to be, haven't they? Like?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Brilliant experience.
Just goes that's why they win trebles.
Yeah.
That's why they, mentality I had with Sir Alex is this is how good you got to be. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing when we was at Liverpool. Like the younger players. So first one come through Fowler, then we had Owen, Carragher, Gerrard. When they was 15, when they used to, because they was going to be obviously going to make it. When they had like school holidays, they used to train with the first team. Yeah. We used to treat them like adults. We used to smash them, and you said, at 17, 18, they were men. So you just how good you got to be. Obviously, it did improve them. So, did you get sent packing back?
So we played the friendly on the Thursday. We had our first league game for Peterborough on the Saturday. So we were going back on the Friday, but we played on the Thursday against Boca Juniors. Sir Alex was up in his office, like floor to ceiling glass window there, looking out, watching the game. I was useless first half, so I was really good, played really well second half, but he'd left at half time. So.
Nightmare.
But no, we went back and he said he liked us and they're just going to keep monitoring us. And then in January we went to Spurs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so. And going back there to what you're talking about, Gerrard and that, I remember playing with Gerrard England under-18s in Manchester at I think it was Mottram Hall. And we were doing small-sided games. I put it through his legs and went to go the other side, and he just went bosh, straight in my face, and like as if you ain't doing that to me. But that was that mentality you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? It was that's why they were what they were. They were special players, and they had that mentality that, just made them. What
it's that little bit. I think it's a difference. There's a difference between making it and making it. It's that little switch. You know what I mean?
100%.
Go back to West Ham. When you joined, because you didn't really have a good time at Tottenham, did you really?
No, I didn't enjoy it at Tottenham. No.
And West Ham's a proper family club, right? And was it a warm welcome when you come?
I had to win them over early doors.
Yeah.
Because it's a target coming from Tottenham.
Yeah, coming from Tottenham, and like obviously there's the rivalry there, and I remember driving to our first game at home. It was a League Cup game, and it was beautiful summer's evening, and I was driving down, and loads of West Ham fans outside the pub, etc. And they seen me. I had my window down. I shouldn't have done, and they kind of give me a look and like, what you doing here kind of thing, And I thought, I've got to prove myself here. And luckily I did. First year was good. Like I said, got Hammer of the Year, we got playoff final, got beat. Second year, playoff final again, got up, went up, and then FA Cup final the year after that. So good times.
That's amazing. So West Ham, when you come out of West Ham, the old gates you turn around to bowling, the pub there. So if I won, I used to come out and turn exactly way home.
Turn left,
If we lost, I had to go the long way round, do it right, and go the long way round.
Yeah, past Queen Street Market and the Ken's Cafe.
They always hang outside the
pub.
pub.
If you won, you
by the lights.
If you lost, you had to do it right. It'd take you half hour longer.
Yeah.
On the way in as well. On the way in, you had to drive through there, wasn't it?
I've got loads and loads of old programmes that I've collected as a kid, and I've got one signed by you. Okay. And you remember the old gates where the players' carpet used to be? You used to wait all the time, and you come out and sign a few things once, and so.
Crazy.
You're so young, aren't you?
I know.
I don't realise.
I'm 30. I'm only 33. I look uphill paper around, mate, and
that's what happens when you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to Dino's Cafe.
6. I've been working.
That ain't as
done
good as
3 hours
Little
work
Italy, by the way. Little Italy is the best
It's
restaurant in London. But that's what happens when you work in the markets, mate. You look old,
Tough,
don't you?
mate.
Experience. So West Ham. What happened at West Ham? How long was you at West Ham?
I was at West Ham nearly 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah. So
I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Is that the longest club you've been at? 6 years?
No, I was at Stoke near enough the same time as well.
So you went from West Ham
to Stoke, really good times.
FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Cardiff 2006.
Can I ask a question about that? Who was it? Because you had the throw in last
Scaloni.
minute. You had a throw, and they threw it to someone. And you passed it
Argentina
to
manager
Gerrard.
now, and he just won the World Cup. So I'm
That's
sure,
him.
Yeah, it's him.
He could have kicked it anywhere in the world.
I know.
Don't kick it to Steven Gerrard.
I know.
It was last minute. You had a fullback, right fullback. You're throwing, and he hooked it to Steven Gerrard. He's got the whole world.
I know.
It's
unbelievable.
What was the change room like? Before the game.
I remember the bus drive towards the stadium just packed out of claret and blue. Obviously Liverpool bring a fair few as well. They're not badly supported, but it's just an unbelievable build up to it. Change room forward nerves, definitely.
Yeah.
Playing Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know what a club. Everything that brings. 2-0 up, going 2-0 up early. Thinking, we played so well first half. Like we had a really good, energetic team. Then young team, hungry, wanting to prove a point. And then they pulled it back. Conch then scores the cross, comes shot. He still says he meant it. Never in a million years he meant. But 3-2, come off on, I think, 82nd minute I come off because I'd done my ankle previously the weeks before, and Pard said, right, I just want you fit for this final.
Yeah.
And I hadn't played or trained leading up to that game. So I got through 82 minutes, buzzing 3-2 up, thinking, rubbing my hands together, thinking, go out in London tonight, what a night we're going to have, FA Cup winners. Pard had told Nigel Reo-Coker because Steven Gerrard was the only one that was going to win that game for him or get him back in the game, to man-mark him, and he's give him 2 yards, and everyone's thinking...
That's all Gerrard needs, isn't he? That's what
he ain't shooting from there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the way he struck that ball, it is incredible. It wasn't meant to be, unfortunately.
I managed West Ham last year in America.
Yeah, the All-Stars.
Yeah. And Anton Ferdinand said, Pardew was like chocolate. He could eat himself. He loved himself. That's what he said. He said he was a proper man's man. Said he was the nuts.
He was good.
But he was in love with himself. Yeah. Who was your favourite manager at West Ham, basically?
It's probably him. It was when he first signed.
Do you think? Sorry to interrupt. Do you think he got a lot of unfair stick for being so, chocolatey?
He's just confident in himself.
He's a geezer, wasn't he?
I think he got more and more confident the more and more success he had, if that makes sense. I think when he first came to West Ham, he had something to prove.
Yeah.
But then obviously with Cup final, playing in Europe, etc., then going to Newcastle, Palace, and that, I just think self-confidence is not a bad thing, is it? But
I find him.
Yeah, he was brilliant for me.
I think he's all right.
He was brilliant for me, absolutely brilliant, and a brilliant man manager. He said when he first joined, he's going to build a team around me. Like I was a player that wanted to hear that. Do you know what I mean? And he knew that. And I had really good times under him.
I remember 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Zola was in charge, and I remember there was a rumour. Going around the lounges that you would bang on the gambling. I remember as a kid, but obviously I was 17, 18, so it was like, what's happening, Matty? Like, you know what I mean? And then what was happening?
What wasn't happening?
How'd you get into it? Did you have your family gamblers?
No, history of it, nothing.
Was it because I think the dressing room is like a mecca for gambling?
It is.
Because the sporting life's always there. You always got the gamblers in the corner doing their bets every morning.
You do.
Was that where it started?
No, Baldon. When I first went to Spurs, we got relocated going from Peterborough and got put up in the Waltham Abbey Marriott for 3 months till we found somewhere.
The old Swallow Hotel,
That's it.
Classic hotel.
And I just got so bored there, going home from training, and then what do I do? Didn't really know London, didn't know the outskirts of London that well, Essex, etc. And Evening Standard I was having a coffee in the lobby there, and Evening Standard was there, just flicking through it. There's a dog card at Walthamstow in it, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go along to that tonight. Just went on my own, and I loved it. So Walthamstow was Tuesday, Thursday, Romford Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Like it got to the point where I was going Walthamstow, Romford most nights, and it just spiralled really, where I got myself into some real trouble.
So obviously at West Ham was when it was probably taken over the most.
It did, yeah. It got bad at West Ham. It just snowballed. Like I said, it just got to the point where during West Ham 2003, 2005, 6 is probably when it was getting serious, and I was getting myself into some real debt.
What was you earning a week at West Ham back then?
So West Ham, I earned best money at Stoke. West Ham, I was on about 25 grand a week.
And what was you spending a week on gambling?
Wages were gone within the first 2 weeks.
Your mum's wages, you've done it all.
Yeah. And then it's lending, then it's dealing with people who can give you money, who were paying in, and then you got to pay interest on that money.
Loan sharks.
Exactly, yeah, all that.
And was it all dogs you was betting on, or was it everything?
Mostly dogs,
Because
horses as well.
Every 15
yeah, and
minutes,
it's
you
just
do
cash
bollocks.
up front. Like there's one story, it's the dogs at Romford one night, and I probably went there with 10, 15 grand cash.
Yeah.
Done it all. Last race, I'm thinking, I need to get this money back.
Yeah.
So track 1, 6-4 favourite. I went, can I have a bit on credit to the bookie? I said, I'll have 8 grand on track 1. He goes, yeah, no problem. He goes, I said, I've got it in the car. I'll go and get it after the race. He goes, yeah, no problem, Matthew. No problem whatsoever. Anyway, track 1's come out. It fell on its nose. Done. B. I've legged it out the dogs. And I remember looking back. He was never going to catch me. And he's going, Matty, where's my money? Where's my money? He ended up turning up at the training ground on the Monday.
No.
He did at Chadwell Heath and going, right, where's my 8 grand? And I went to the fella that was on the gate, said, just ignore him, I don't owe him 8 grand. But I obviously had to give it to him. But there was no rules in me. I was just any way, any means to have a bet.
Was it affecting your football as well?
It did towards the back end of my time at West Ham,
Yeah.
definitely. I didn't play anywhere near to the level that I played at my first 3 or 4 years. Zola was trying to help me. I had issues with my back at the time. And
Did all the players know that you was gambling?
yeah, they did at that point. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was trying to help me like one-on-one sessions and yoga and all that, and I was just nishing him off and like, no, I don't want to do it, and thinking, what am I doing? You know, when you look back on it, it's Gianfranco Zola trying to work it out. But when you're in it that deep, you can only get out of it yourself. It got to the point where I was getting the same thrill losing as I was winning. Weirdly,
It was a buzz. You just enjoy it.
It was madness. It was just. Yeah, it was a time.
What's the most stupidest, if that's such a word, the most pathetic bet you've had?
The silliest thing I ever did, craziest thing I ever did was, I was in a lot of debt, and we're talking £1-2 million to people that I obviously you don't want to be in
and
debt.
how long has that taken to get to that?
This is probably back end of my time at West Ham now, and I had 5 grand left in my bank account, and I opened an account with bookmakers, turned that 5 grand within the space of a week into 540 grand. Now, bearing in mind I'm in the debt that I'm in, you should, any rational
5
thinker,
grand to 540
grand, yeah. Any rational man would think, right, that's a good chunk of that
Yeah,
debt
it's
paid
£500,000
off.
million, yeah.
But what I did is, and the way a gambler's mind thinks is, I'll give him 140, and I thought, right, I can turn this 400 grand into $1 million, 2 million, whatever that may be. Before you knew it, within the week that I made that 540 grand, I'd done 400 grand back. And that's when you know you got an issue.
What was you betting on?
Just horses and like dogs. It got to the point then as well where I was staying up through the night and basketball and all stuff like that. Stuff I didn't have a clue about. Yeah, it got me into a bad place, a real bad place.
Was you getting like death threats or was
Yeah,
you under pressure? Like, how bad was it?
It was bad. I had some nasty people wanting their money, and when I didn't have it, they were threatening. That's the bottom line of it. Like I said, there was just no rules in me. I just wanted money any which way I could get it. I didn't think about the consequences, but I just wanted to get my hands on money because I was blowing my wages every month. And it was crazy. And then obviously, like I said earlier, there's interest on that, and the interest I'm charging was through the roof.
What sort of mean?
Well, say you lent 20 grand, they charge 20% interest. So
What is that each week or month?
a month.
Month,
So 4 grand a month. You know, if you don't pay it, still got to give them 4 grand. That's you know, and that's topping up and topping up and topping up, and yeah, not a good place to be.
What's the lowest you've ever been?
Probably my family sat around the table in tears,
Yeah.
seeing stuff in the papers, knowing what he was doing to me, but most importantly, seeing what he was doing to them and how I was affecting them, because he was so selfish.
Things as well.
Yeah.
It's not. I know it's financial is a massive part of family life, but you know your mood swings. It's not. You're not making it an happy place.
Nah,
you know, not an happy household, are you?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
So it was affecting everyone.
Yeah.
I expect your mates as well, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
Close friends.
Yeah, close friends. It comes to a point where people give in on you, I think, a little bit as well.
Did you feel like your friends had walked away from you?
They hadn't walked away, but they kept a distance from me. And luckily now I've still got relationships with them because I've come out the other side of it. But there was definitely a point where they had to keep me at arm's
So
length.
do you think when it did come out of the papers and you know the world knew, do you think that was a relief to you, or did it make you go the other way?
Made me go the other way.
Did it?
Because they were talking nonsense, some of it. Like, there was a truth that I had a gambling addiction, of course. But there was a story that went in one paper. It was that I went into a bookies in Loughton, William Hill, and I'd done $5,000 in there, and there was £1 on the floor, and I picked it up and put it into the machine, and all nonsense like that. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, yeah, exactly. That's them in a nutshell.
So you end up in sporting chance. Did you do it yourself, or did you have people?
I went myself first time.
Sporting chances. It was Tony Adams started.
Yeah, Peter Kay headed it up. Who passed away now.
I was in there in 2004, 2005, and Peter Kay was there.
I went there twice. First time I went, didn't really work for me. Because like I said, you got to be ready to give it. Stop yourself, and then second time I went back and got a little bit of value from it. It was towards the back end of my time at West Ham, early time at Stoke, and they did brilliant work, all funded by the PFA and Tony Adams, and yeah, that did help me definitely.
So how are you now?
All good, thankfully. Yeah.
Is it a battle? Is it like a battle every day?
Do you know what? Luckily for me, I don't. Obviously, I've got to keep it. Keep it in the back of my mind that where I was to where I am now, but thankfully, it's not the first thing I think about when I wake up, and it's not the last thing I think about before I go to bed. I don't really think about it anymore, genuinely.
Good. Do you still gamble now? Honestly, like?
No, I don't. No, I completely.
Yeah,
no.
And how long you've been?
Probably now, what are we, 2024? 15 years.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Good
so
boy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good boy.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't really think about it anymore, thankfully. But I've got to keep it.
Yeah, got to keep
back
it
there and remember where I was. I've got to be mindful of that.
How long did it take you to pay off your gambling debts?
I think it took me a good 5 or 6 years.
But you've done them.
But I did
clean.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give someone struggling with gambling? How to get out of trouble, and what can they do that you done to help you?
You hear it all the time, but it helped me massively. Firstly, one day at a time. Just say I'm not going to have a bet today. Then that for me broke it all down. Where okay, I'm not going to have a bet today. Then one day turned into 2, etc., etc. Secondly, you need good people around you. Luckily for me, I did. Otherwise, I don't know where I'd be genuinely. And you need to be honest, and you need to open up. And only you will know when that time's right. Because as an addict, you're so selfish.
Oh yeah.
So selfish.
I bet you become a liar. Yeah,
liar. You don't value anyone in your life, etc. So coming clean's the biggest thing, and being honest, because it just takes a huge weight off your shoulders. But you've got to be ready to do that, and sometimes it's not easy to get to that point.
Was it hard to come clean to like your wife?
Yeah, it was.
Because you're in denial, weren't you?
Yeah, you are.
I had a drinking problem back in the day. Deny, you just deny and lie, deny.
It is that. You are in denial, exactly that. And then you've got you've got to work on yourself. So I went to GA for a number of years, spoke openly, honestly, and then you just got to work through that point where you get yourself, and it like I said, it took me 5 or 6 years that you can move on with your life then, So it's not easy. It's not easy, mate. I promise you right now.
But I think when you do go to meetings, you're not alone here.
No, you're not. That's the biggest thing I took from that.
They're not shocked. You don't have to lie to people.
No, you feel like you're alone at the time though, don't you? Until you go to those meetings and you feel like there's like-minded people, and I'm not the only donut that's done this, So that was big, and those meetings did help, definitely.
So boredom was your...
It was purely boredom, it was. And then it just snowballed from there.
I mean, because especially as a footballer, it is, you train, when you go to a new club, you're training locked in a hotel. I bet you was in the hotel at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well,
and you don't leave that hotel till 9 o'clock next morning.
Then you have a dinner, and what are you doing for the rest of the evening? Do you know what I mean? I'm not pleading poverty. Like, obviously, it's good that we're at a Premier League club and a hotel, but I was bored. That's the bottom line. I was bored.
At the minute, a couple of high-profile players have been banned from football. Ivan Toney and Tonali plays for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Was that a problem with you, football betting?
Not really, no. Obviously, there is. When I was playing, there was players that had problems as well as I did. I don't think they had problems like to my extent, to be honest, and weren't in the debt and the trouble that I was in. But there was players that loved to punt. And I remember at West Ham we had a card school.
Yeah.
We had a card school, and
I think everyone on the coach, away days on the coach,
all cash, thousands of, So it is a problem within football, I think.
It is a culture, getting culture in football. Yeah. So what age did you retire?
32. My back. Yeah, my back. Playing under Tony Pulis at Stoke, I had to play like a fullback, not a winger. I was covering like 12, 13k a game. And
were you a fit lad? Were you naturally a fit lad
yeah.
anyway?
Oh, yeah.
You could run all day anyway.
Mate, he was quick.
Oh no, he was quick, but you know, some quick players can't run.
Yeah, no,
13
you had to do it under TP at Stoke. If you weren't inside your fullback, doubling up on the opposition wingers, you weren't playing. It was, but yeah, again, I had a good time there as well.
Who was the toughest player you ever come up against?
There's two for me. The first one would be Carl Walker. Usually when I knocked it past someone and I had a yard on them, they weren't getting back at me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've knocked it past him and again, had a yard or two on him. Before I knew it, he was back in front of me, and I thought, "Oh my God, who is this?" So no one had ever done that to me. Like, the quickest thing I've ever seen, and then that puts doubt in your mind. Then as a winger, do you know what I mean? And the second one would be Gary Neville.
Gary Neville,
He knew what you were going to do before you did it.
Yeah.
Like tactically, he was really, really aware, like positionally and all that.
That's a big. So obviously, he didn't have to, as a fullback. If you ain't got the pace, you got
exactly
to know.
Exactly that.
You've got to know what they're going to do.
He read the game brilliantly.
Yeah.
And that relationship we had with Beckham on that right hand side, they were tough to play against.
Well, dangerous. They were dangerous for me. Yeah.
No bad team. No bad team. Can't believe you didn't get into that.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I don't know why either.
What are you up to now?
I'm just coaching, mate.
What age?
At the minute, 21s. At Colchester.
I've got a question.
Go on.
Oh. What happened at Crawley Town? What happened there? Because you was only there like
31 days,
yeah,
28 days.
What happened?
I couldn't work there, so I've resigned.
Why?
I've got to be careful what I say because it's still the owners
Legally.
there. Yeah.
All right, I won't answer that question.
I just wasn't getting the freedom to do what I wanted, basically.
Ya.
And I thought I've got to get out of it now.
And then the Colchester, what happened there?
Yeah, Colchester. I'm still there. I'm still contracted to the club. Yeah, that was tough. I was, promised I was going to get the January window to get some players in, etc. It just didn't work out, mate. I'll tell you what, being a head coach is a tough gig. Tough gig. Yeah, once you've been in it, you have more and more respect for the blokes that do it. If that makes sense, you are. If you're not getting results, you are getting it 24/7. And I was getting it when I was at Colchester. We played Wrexham away one day. The fans were going. It's tough. It's tough. But I learned loads from it. I do enjoy coaching. I've got a pro licence and I enjoy coaching. I think I'm a good coach. But I'm just continue to do that, mate, and see where it takes me.
Matt, mate, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And he's been so excited all week. He's been ringing me. You've been ringing me.
No, thank you for coming. And
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for talking about the things you're gambling because it will help a lot of people.
That's why I do it, yeah.
And I'm glad you're in a good place, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Keep you going.
I will do.
Nice seeing you.
Top man.
Mate, how good was that, Matt Erin, in the men's room?
It was an unbelievable story just through boredom. You know what I mean? Sat in a hotel on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It led to a spiral, a downward spiral. But what a lovely lad.
Nice man. But isn't it scary how quick you can get yourself into that sort of trouble?
Yeah. And you think you're doing no wrong. That's the worst thing about addiction. You think it's okay. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm only hurting myself. But you're not. You're hurting everyone around you.
And if anyone's watching this and you are struggling with gambling, go to begambleaware.org and there's loads on there to talk about, to look at, to read, to help you with your gambling. If you've got a problem, don't keep it bottled up. Go and talk to someone.
Get it off your chest.
Talking about talking,
Yeah.
he ended up going into coaching.
Yeah.
What happened with you and coaching?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Would you trust me with your football club?
Yeah. You're coaching me, aren't you?
No, I did at the end. I'd done a year and a half at Swindon, but when I had my end of career. But I should have had the gap really. I was doing the coaching badge while I was coaching. I just found it hard. We've gone from a lazy footballer that everything's done for you. Yeah. From like getting into the football club, first one in football club, last one out. Every night you're going out.
What year
scouting.
was that?
This was 2004, 4, something like that.
Was you boozing then?
Oh yeah, big time boozing. It was getting in the way of me boozing. Basically, that's why I was a rubbish coach. But it weren't for me. The thing about me was like I'd done it since I can remember. I had football in my life every day. Of course, yeah. And it was different. It's not like playing. You've got to be 100% committed, and I didn't have that commitment at the time because I was on the booze.
Oh man, I love you, Race.
I love you.
I love doing this, mate.
I love it.
This is like the best job ever, isn't it?
It's a great job.
We just
we're meeting amazing people with amazing stories.
It's just blinding. Like, mate, listen, I love watching Matty at West Ham.
I didn't know that.
Do you know what I mean? But He was brilliant.
He was
quick. He was everywhere.
You
know
like
what I
him,
mean?
don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You got his phone number yet?
No, I'm going to ask for his phone number and drive him mad.
Yeah, I know you are like everyone else you do.
So, another week, another great podcast at the men's room here in Little Italy with the 17th hardest footballer of all time, Mr. Razor Ruddock, and he's fuming about that.
Fuming.
But listen, go on YouTube, give us a watch, download us, watch us, like us, subscribe to it. I don't care what you do, just make sure you watch it. Otherwise, you're going to have him on you, and he's the 17th hardest footballer.
Nosh.
Habash.